Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at IEM Cologne. We're going into the night. That's what we're doing for you guys. We're going late at night. And we've got another 2 games to go. Millenium versus Mousesports coming up next. It's not quite as exciting as Fnatic versus SK Telecom for me, because I got to see Kha'Zix. He lost, though. That wasn't so exciting for me, but he lost.
He did a really good comeback, I have to say.
Really
it looked
nice.
so dire for him there in the first 2 levels or so, and then I look again, it's like, even on CS. All right, I guess Reaper D knows how to play.
As soon as he evolves the W, he can just farm easily. That's what he's kind of done. And to be fair, Soaz was going around killing everyone. so he's like, yeah, you can have the farm, I'll kill the rest of your team. So, Millenium versus Mousesports coming up next. Both teams on the back of a defeat. Mousesports lost to SK Telecom, Millenium to Fnatic. Millenium, we think, are probably the stronger team coming into this one.
Yeah, I think the story should be Millenium is the stronger team based on individual talent. Mouse may have the edge in terms of team coordination, but they didn't really show great team coordination. On paper, they've played together as a team much longer than Millenium. Millenium formed this week.
The problem is that Mousesports stopped playing as a team like some months ago, at least with MoMA. So it's not like a team anymore. So I don't know how it's going to be. I predict it's going to win Millenium. So let's see.
I predict the Riot.
I was going to say that, but...
I had to get it in there. So this game, what are we thinking picks and bans then? If you're thinking Millenium are going to take it, we've just seen maybe Anguish maybe going to get a ban against Jax, probably.
Yeah.
Any particular junglers maybe they're going to get banned out? Trying to think who's playing, maybe any AP champions.
In the All Eclipse here, when I'm so far was playing with enemies, the top lane, they used to do something. It was for speaking, always listen. And then after that, they decide if it's going to be top listen or jungle listen, because they both could play. That's something really good.
And they like to invade a level 1. You've discovered this to your peril at Tales of the Lane.
Yep. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, I suppose. I guess, yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. No, you've actually struck that from your memory.
I guess you're talking with another Irony or another Alvar.
It must be. It must have been another jungler at another time that lost within 18.5 minutes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm so glad you had a chance to bring that up again.
I remember exactly the minutes. It's like...
I remember the minutes. It was almost a record at the it. That was why.
Singapore.
Well,
Singapore broke it. They broke it. They got 12. Yeah.
Thanks, Dota players.
It actually, yeah, okay.
All right.
But, you know, to be fair, I reminded Ocelot the fact it's only fair that I get you as well.
Yep.
But he's going to be sat there enjoying that one. So...
Hope the Rayman is watching this.
You know what?
So.
I think
he's number 1.
I think we should have Kevin for our next analyst desk, so we can remind him.
We could work our way through the whole.
Kevin, don't do it. Kevin, don't come here, please.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
But
okay, so let's go to the bans and picks, I think.
Well, I mean, what are we expecting?
Okay, so I guess it's gonna be like Listen ban from Mousesports. It's gonna be probably Diana ban. And it's gonna be like Jax ban, most likely. And then from Millenium, we're probably gonna see like use the OP champions like Rengar. Like, I don't think Cho'Gath, but probably Karthus, because we all know the Karthus of MoMA. MoMA's Karthus is really, really nice. So let's see, I don't know, like Rengar.
There you go.
For the moment,
well
standard.
1-1.
Yep.
Now, I will say Jax, I will say Diana, and I will say, listen. So let's see if I'm wrong. Diana.
Well done, well done.
Then
what have we got left?
Millenium is gonna ban probably Karthus. I'm not sure if they're afraid of Karthus. I don't think so, because if they pick Karthus, then Tabs just pick Fizz, and he destroy him.
Yes.
And I would love to see that.
Fizz is counted as a counter pick to Karthus normally, so even people who aren't Tabs pick Fizz when there's a Karthus in the enemy team.
It's a really high counter.
Katarina?
I don't exactly know why, but well.
They watched the last game?
They watched the last game and were like, we don't want that snowball. No, we don't want that to happen to us.
Let's go for Jax or Listen.
Listen, you did say that. Yeah, you're doing well so far.
Probably now is gonna be something like Syra or Leona or even Ethereal, something like it's really good champion and just have no counters.
Blitzcrank, of course.
I don't think Phalanx play Blitzcrank. I think Phalanx play mainly Leona,
mainly
Nunu,
Leona,
Sona. Yeah. Even Syra can play, but I don't think he plays Blitzcrank.
Well, they're leaving it to the last
I will never
split
say
second.
Ethereal.
Xin Zhao.
Zhao.
Okay.
Well, they did play it jungle against SK
And
Telecom.
please, Mouse, ban Jax, and I will be happy. Just do it.
You're trying to get yourself onto Jat levels of predictions here.
Ocelot did a pretty good job too in Singapore.
I don't think I can get on Jax.
I don't think I can get
Like,
a Jat's level.
every time Jat say they're gonna ban like Karma, they ban Karma, and you're like, dude, what the hell is
You're
this?
like, why did they just ban Karma? I don't
There
know.
you go. Okay, I'm half Jat level.
half Jat level.
So this is the pick I predict before of Millenium against Fnatic. I predict Sen pick for Angus because Angus is really good with Jax, like really good, and then he falls a bit behind, but then he has like his Sen is really good as well, and also you have Sen to help in the team, so he's perfect. He's a perfect champion, and I expect Sen before against Fnatic, but they didn't pick it, so now they pick Sen. Cho'Gath
Is
Ethereal.
there going to be a mid lane Cho'Gath again?
I'm not sure.
They're
Let's see.
keeping the option open right now.
Yep.
Obviously, the Giant will know how to run a jungle Cho'Gath as well.
Yep.
And if you guys are wondering, yes, Philip is actually the Dryon.
Yes. And there could be Blitzcrank. So they weren't going to ban it because they're thinking of keeping it. Blitzcrank Vayne would work very well. Pull him in, get the condemn down, absolutely stomp.
Still,
Oh yeah.
we came back to the point. We said Leona. Well, Nunu is also a counter to Blitzcrank, but Leona is even hardest counter to Blitzcrank, and also you counter Vayne with Leona. But Nunu, the thing is, if you speedbuff your AD, it's almost impossible to get caught by Blitzcrank Q. I mean, it's really hard to get a single grab from Blitzcrank.
What do you think about Nunu in the jungle in this current patch level? Is he useful?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yes. It's
Okay.
really viable. Like really speed jungle. You can counter jungle whoever you want. It's really nice. And Ola.
I like the pick order from Mouse because they are keeping things very vague, still very open. Cho'Gath could be jungle, could be mid lane. Nunu could be support,
jungle.
could be jungle, exactly. Even Olaf could theoretically be run in the jungle. So it's very vague. They're not exactly saying this is our lineup. Go ahead and use the last two picks to counter us.
Yeah.
So you can see,
Still-
what are we going to get? What AP champion do you think they're going to come out with here, Millenium?
I would love to see Fizz, but it's not going to be Fizz. I'm sorry. So
Because they don't know what they're picking against. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
of course.
there's so many
You know what
chances
they're
to it.
going. But I will say Ari. I think he
Safe.
played amazing Ari, and Ari is just a safe champion against this. It's fine.
Katarina is open, but you don't
No.
want to pick her into...
Katarina is banned.
banned.
Oh yeah, they banned it, of course. I just checked the mouse bans. Right.
So I will say probably Ari. Oh my
Whoa.
god. Do it.
This
Do
could be the
Fizz.
jungle
Oh my
KO
God.
you've
Do
been
the
talking
Fizz.
about.
Do the Fizz.
We would be
Please,
so
Tabs,
happy.
do it.
If you can hear us, Tabs, make us happy.
Oh, such a disappointment. Oh, and I think everyone at home collectively sighing.
And
But it could be
Zyra.
Zyra, AP Zyra in that mid lane.
Yeah, it's gonna be
long-range
a
champion,
Zyra
safe.
Mundo.
It
I
looks-
never saw Tabs playing Zyra. That's pretty much surprise for me.
Well, it's a first time for you and a first time for us then, maybe. What will the final pick be? What AP champion would you go against the Zyra? You got to have something long range, I'd guess. They're trying to avoid them plants.
It could be Cho'Gath mid, and then they run like a jungle like Sivana or something like that. Or you could just go like Cho'Gath jungle and put in mid lane something like Cardus, because Cardus works pretty fine against Zyra.
Yeah. Should not be...
Cardus or even Anivia. I know MoMA plays really good Anivia. So that's it.
Oh,
It's
Gragas.
Well, the barrel's long range. It is going to be something to poke them from away. So what are we expecting here? Some pretty interesting team comps. We've got a Blitzcrank, our first Blitz of the tournament. We've got an AP Zyra, first Mundo of the tournament as well. I think we've seen a few other champions. I think Cho'Gath's been in every game, has he, so far? No, it wasn't in the last one.
In the last one, I think it was banned.
We
No,
are.
it was in the last one on SK.
On SK Telecom. I think we've seen him in every game so far. But it seems a popular jungler that's coming into it. But what are you thinking with the two team comps there?
I think Millenium has like level one of the greatest level one with Zyra E, with the grab and with the ton is really strong, and they're probably gonna invade. And also they probably have better team con, because if you win the early game with Cretan and with his Bane, you're gonna probably win the late game. So I will be cheering for Millenium come. Even that last game I was cheering for Fnatic, but I thought SK Telecom had better come. Now I think Millenium has better comp and better team.
And how young does he look? And how old does that make me feel?
Tabs is really young.
Tabs is really young.
But he's such an amazing...
He's also so good at the game.
He's an amazing... I love...
reckless, right?
I love his champion pool. His champion pool is like... No other guy in Europe has his champion pool. It's like all the assassins. This is the first time I don't see him playing assassin.
And honestly, that's actually going to suit him really well moving into Season 3 because the assassins are working so well.
LeBlanc is making a comeback already in solo queue. Well, that's what the numbers say. I just have to say before we give over, I'm so happy that there's the Oktoberfest Graga skin. It just makes me so happy.
It does, but let's get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Over to Joe and Jason.
So here we go then, Millenium versus Mousesports. Pretty much everything on the line in this game for these two teams. Jason, what are you expecting from it?
Well, we saw Mouse in game number 1. They didn't have much damage. They were really tanky. This time, they're throwing in a Gragas into the mix, which is going to be really nice. You have an Olaf in that top lane going to be doing some good damage, and JWoww on his Ezreal yet again. So, I mean, they completely fixed their composition. However, there's a Vayne on the other team and a Blitzcrank. So I'm going to give it over to Millenium. Just based on that.
Just on that. Just that thing. Well, we'll see how many grabs Haidar can pull off.
Well, what about you, Joe?
One.
Who do you have winning this?
I think Millenium, even though they're the kind of newer lineup in this one, Mousesports, you know, they came in as the EPS Germany champions from last weekend's action. They're definitely a strong team, but I'm not sure if they're going to be good enough here to be taking out Millenium, who are obviously both teams fighting for survival here at Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. Currently, no invade going on. We've seen the ward being put down in this brush to give vision of the jungler and see exactly where he's going to be starting, where he's going to be going, where he's going to be. But Mousesports still not really having that much of a clue where Millenium are. You saw the Olaf axe going into that bush at blue buff just to try and figure out what was going on there.
That's
pink
so many
ward
wards.
Put down.
That's 3 wards to put down. All he has is a pink left now, or sorry, a green left now.
And all 4 of them are going in for this one. They're going to wait. Are they going to wait for that blue buff to come up, or are they going to go in earlier? I'm so fresh here, waiting around the corner. Hideout's gonna go around. There's the warden. Can he get the grab onto Olaf? No, not quite. But they've managed to force him away from this blue buff. And this may be the first buff of the game getting stolen away. Will be, because we are seeing the Mousesports team backing away from the buff itself. Muno going to be getting the help from that one. Not going to need to smite it down, which only helps him as we go later on. Actually, Ezreal going to be playing in this top lane, so lane switch going on, as you can maybe expect with that Olaf going into the bottom lane. I'm just wondering if they were going to give that blue buff to Olaf at the start, which is something that we see quite a lot when you get that lane switch in there. Yeah,
you see him run teleport, which he currently is. He takes the blue and then goes back to base, heals, picks up a ward, teleports down to that bottom lane, and it gives him such great farming ability when you level up that undertow. But we still have him zoned really far off the turret right now. He should be able to farm pretty well under it, but I guess we'll only find out in time. And MoMA actually on Grogs, we don't see that much anymore, but I do have to point out during EPS, he actually played him and did extremely well. Didn't even build into a DFG since it obviously hasn't been changed yet with the Season 3 patch. Oh, it has been, but we're not playing on it. And I'm curious to see how well he does here. We do have an invade coming at Mousesports, though, trying to take the blue buff away and give it over to Daedrian. And will he actually grab it, though? That is the question.
Well, gonna be moving in there. I don't really see much from Millenium in the way of actually, you know, being able to stop that from happening. And looks like they're not even going to be trying to do that one. And this blue buff is going to be going over to Cho'Gath. So in the end, does get that blue buff anyway.
Look where Mundo is.
Mundo coming around the side. This is something we saw constantly happening at IPL. As you do see the exhaust go in there, they're going to get right in on top of him. And Arthana is going to be going down here. It's first blood to Mundo. And so Fresh has to flash away just because of that tower damage. Meanwhile, we did see Gragas coming down, but didn't go for it. And in the top lane, we're going to see another thing that we've just seen on this bottom lane, which is that 3-man dive in towards the tower. Angush going to get silenced. There's the exhaust. Almost looks identical here, but the kill going onto JWoww on his Ezreal. So AD carry picking it up there for Mousesports. The jungler over on the other side. And that will leave us at 1-1, tied up at 5k gold apiece.
However, Mousesports, they're going to be able to get this turret since Arthana actually had that teleport to get back down to that lane. Was able to keep the turret alive. So Mousesports is going to take an early turret here and an early gold advantage from that. And I'm a little bit surprised. This is kind of a pet peeve for me, because if you see a lane swap, you know you're going to see a 3-man gank in those solo lanes.
Yeah, We saw it time and time again at IPL, and it wasn't really until the last few games of the tournament that people started putting a ward there and actually realizing what was going to happen to them, even though we saw it almost every single game that there was that lane switch coming in. So both teams getting a kill from that one. Obviously, Mousesports benefiting nicely with the fact that they have managed to take that tower down, but it looks like Millenium wants to do the same here on the bottom. Tabs has come down from that mid lane, and they're going to be pushing this one right up towards the tower. We'll see if Olaf can actually hold on, whether they'll actually go in for the kill on with that one.
Nah, they got Ezreal Nunu coming in from the lane. Since they took that tower, we're going to swap it now. And Python in that top lane just farm up against the Shen, which, I mean, he's losing currently in CS. They both have 1 death, but shouldn't have too much of a problem up there as, well, we see Millenium actually backing up. Tabs and go back to that mid lane. I'm so fresh, just catching a little bit of experience there. And you do see, on your screen, Python backing out. We'll head to that top lane.
Things going to normalize somewhat from that one then. Mousesports, obviously, with that turret lead, will give them the gold lead, albeit just a slim one here at 400. Actually, I'm so fresh coming into this bottom lane now, which has been spotted. There's that ward there up in top of the river, so Mousesports know that Mundo is going to be hanging around in this bottom lane, and as such, no action happening. Meanwhile, in the middle, as you said, Tabs did go back in there, actually ahead by 5 CS currently, on 6 CS as he gets that final one in the wave. He's going to go home shopping as well. Double Doran's ring picked up by MoMA on Gragas. As you say, Gragas not being super played, or not being highly played, I should really say, in the recent months. However, MoMA has still been playing him, so not really a surprise to see that one come out if you watch the EPS finals the other weekend, as we are going to see here Nunu in a little bit of trouble. Actually, he is going to get taken down. The kill going in onto Creaton. And they've done a fantastic job there of Millenium of securing that kill. That was a great play. They did the flash pull, then the condemn into that wall, so he could not escape. Nunu did have flash, however, not going to work out too much for him, as you do have, actually, Hado heading towards, I think he was heading up towards middle for a little bit there, as we do have currently I'm so fresh just going back to his jungle. And so far, 2-1 lead. We have Vayne, 1 kill, 1 assist, not bad. You never want to see a Vayne snowball early on, like we were saying earlier in the other matches. But in the top lane, Olaf versus Shen, 32-19 CS. Can Olaf really get back in this? I mean, we can look at total gold. And Angus currently up about 200 at the moment. Oh, 130 now. What items do you think we're going to see at Olaf? I mean, because typically with the sell lane Olaf, we see that really tanky build with the Shuralias just to get in there quicker. You don't really build too much damage. Do you expect the same thing? Yeah, I'd imagine so from that one. I mean, we've seen pretty much every Olaf going that kind of way with, lots of health. We've seen a couple of Sunfire capes out of Olafs recently, which, depending on what the enemy's got, can always work out. As Gragas here in the middle, getting a bit of pressure down from Manto Fresh. Oh, bottom lane. Yeah, let's get over there. We are going to see that Shen ultimate coming down. Phylox may be in trouble now. Actually, will flash, but the Shen taunt will land. Creaton could pick up his second kill. There's the final one with the Silver Bolts, and they're not finished just yet. Condemn into the wall. And this is going to be another one, is it? No, Arcane shift away. And now Mousesports trying to turn things around. Angosh is still down there. Turret actually will take down Blitzcrank in the end, but they're not finished. Dedrian's in trouble. The turret is actually hitting Creaton, but he is going to get the kill. He is on a killing spree now, 3-0-1. And similar to what we said with Jax early on, the last thing you want with one of these hyper carries like Vayne is to allow an advantage in the early game, because she's going to get stronger whatever happens. But if you do it this way, well, it's just bad news. CS advantage, good 10 CS advantage, 3-0-1 on kills. This is going to be a disgustingly strong Vayne. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this actually plays out a little bit. And the thing is, we've seen some great plays great pulls out of Haydal. You got Phylox twice there, and able to pick up those kills and give it over to Vayne. I was really surprised to see Ezreal escape there, but I mean, by the skin of his teeth, he barely got away. And Millenium, I mean, they're looking very solid to take this game. They already have a stronger late game composition just because of that Vayne. And I mean, they're winning early on, so they're looking just overall like they're going to win this one, which is a much needed win, like we're saying as we just got into the game. In the middle lane, MoMA is now slightly ahead in CS. Zyra got a creep wave though to bring us back level, and there is the Giant's Belt straight away coming out of Olaf. Meanwhile, this bottom side of the map being collapsed on currently. They know Blitzcrank's position because of that ward in the tri-bush. So we'll see if he can get involved on towards this Dragon. JWoww just throwing the Q across there. Dragon already down to half of its health. And they're looking good here for the take Mousesports, but let's not forget they've got a Cho'Gath in there as well. We can get their nom down, as we are going to see snowballs going in. Heidal actually gets ignited. There's the pull onto Prathana, who's going to pop his ultimate. Angush right in the middle as well, as it is actually Gragas who picks up the first kill. Angush is going to die. Creaton here has 3 men on him. He may be able to still pick up Olaf. One more hit. Where is the final hit? Creaton can't quite get in there, and he does some good damage across the whole team, but not picking up kills. And that is an ace for Mousesports. An ace after 9.5 minutes. Didn't really expect that one to work out how it did.
Yeah, Prathana.
Fail.
At least he dies to a minion, or to the dragon, not to a person, but that was the earliest ace we've seen of the tournament. So that was really well played. JWoww actually chased down, I believe it was Taz. He chased down I'm So Fresh, picked up, was that a double or was that a triple for him? I believe it was Moma that got Moma got a triple there, but JWoww picked up a double. And I mean, could that have gone any better for them? We have 3 kills now on Moma, we have 3 kills now on JWoww. That's kind of exactly what you see. Olaf picking up 3 assists, working towards his Warmog's armor. And I mean, that's what they need to get back in the game. They had that Vayne just so farmed up, that 4-1-1 Vayne now. And they were able to shut her down there, pick up a little bit of gold, and get their carries back in this game, which they're going to have to see. I mean, we're going to see big plays out of Moma. He's going to have to catch Cretan out of, well, in the wrong position with that ulti.
Yeah, Millenium going to be pretty damn downhearted, to be honest, after that one.
Yeah.
I think they're in a quite dangerous position now with Mouse picking that one up. I mean, they looked perfectly coordinated coming into that one. So we are going to see a push coming down on towards Zedrian in this top lane. He's going pretty low, where you can see I'm So Fresh having to have the ultimate from Shen coming down on top of him. Will Cho'Gath get away from this one? I think Briefcase actually does land there, and now look at this, they're turning it around. I'm So Fresh
coming up.
Does get knocked out, and Moma is coming up into the fray here. He's going to body slam straight into Shen. There's the axe coming out. Ultimate barrel used from Moma. There's his Q as well. Another axe landing from Prathana. Another body slam. Not escaping all those slows chained up after each other. And Prathana with the E will pick up the kill. And that will leave us at 7-5. Mousesports doing the work here once again, as we are now seeing I'm So Fresh trying to work his way in. Will land another briefcase. And there's the ultimate from Olaf to stay safe.
Yeah, Moma even headed back up to go for another kill. Obviously not going to get this time. CS right now, 45-39 in the top lane. So, you know, Prathana has been able to catch up, as he had a huge disadvantage early on. See, in the jungle, 44-54. So, you know, Cho'Gath with that little bit of an advantage. In the mid lane, though, Zyra has probably the biggest lead of the game. And the thing is, late game, they don't have an Amumu to really lock down the entire enemy team. Like we saw last game, that was a perfect combo out of Amumu and Zyra to knock up the entire enemy team. And then we had Katarina jumping around, using an ulti. But here, I mean, there's nothing really to hold the team together for the ulti to hit. So Tabs is going to have to pull out an amazing ultimate to really give Millenium these wins in these fights.
Yeah, and that's the problem with it. You know, it's hard to really keep everyone trapped in there, and they're going to be relying on a lot of things, mainly those slows coming out, the knockups and what have you from Blitzcrank, stuns out of Vayne, all those chained together to try and keep everyone inside of that Zyra ultimate area. We are going to see the roots coming in. Cho'Gath taking a bit of damage in that middle turret down to below half HP now, but Mousesports still do have that turret lead at 1-0. 2.4 thousand gold is the lead that they have as well. And the overall gold totals, but you can see how much damage JWoww does, and not really surprised, to be honest, Jason, to see a BF sword-based item coming out of him first with that Nunu in the team. The extra attack speed that you get from that Nunu Blood Boil makes this kind of item path a lot more viable.
Yep, actually trying to go in there. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to go. Infinity's Edge, even maybe a Bloodthirster.
Zyra in trouble here. Actually, he's going to get the ultimate down. Will die, though. And Cho'Gath is not going to die from it in the end. And nicely done again from Mouse.
Yeah, they're picking up kills here and there, and that's, I mean, they're already in the lead at the moment, but every kill they get sets Millenium that much farther behind, and they can't afford to, Millenium, to get caught like this. They're just going to fall. As you see, I mean, 3,000 gold difference, 13 minutes in. That's quite a bit, I think. Almost the actually biggest lead this early on in the tournament, but still, I mean, you can't have Zyra be the first one, or actually being caught so often. You have Vayne, yeah, you have the true damage, you have the attack damage, but Zyra is their source of AP. So if we see the enemy, or if we see Mousesports build any kind of attack speed slow with Randomers or Frozen Heart and just build health, they're going to shut Vayne down.
Mouse here going to be taking away their blue buff. Looks like it might end up going, I'm guessing, to Gragas here. He's actually coming in now. Actually, he's got the blue buff on there from that Zyra kill earlier on, so maybe that'll change around. No, they're just going to give it over to him. Give him an extended blue buff period. And in terms of CS, Zyra's still in the lead. Olaf one behind, caught up to that one really nicely. I say, Cage's lucky pick coming out of Shen. That's a interesting way to go for him.
Yeah, try to get a little bit of extra damage in that lane and help the CS, but we have Prothana. I was going to come in behind Shen, but I mean, Prothana's barely been in lane anymore. He just pushes it really quickly. Anguish isn't able to really counter that yet because he doesn't have the items he needs. Doesn't have a Sunfire Cape, doesn't have an Ionic Spark, or even a Wit's End. And he's been able to roam around, which is getting them the kills they need, and just pretty much stay in the lead.
And it looks like Olaf going the way that we predicted earlier on. This one reckless swing going out, and you don't get away from these axes very easily. He's constantly picking them up. He's actually going to use his I was going to say his ultimate, but that was Ghost pop by him there. There's another reckless swing, plus the knock-up. Momo actually missing that one, and well, he's still alive here somehow. Angush is still alive. There's the barrel ulti coming out of Momo. Sure, Prothana's like, really? Did you really need to do that to get that kill? I'm not sure it was needed. But that puts Momo 5-0-3. Middle turret, though, has been taken down on the response to that one by Millenium. So that ties up at 1-1 in turrets. Actually, we are seeing a teleport coming down now onto this bottom lane, but can they get in towards Heidal? No, not quite. He was in the bush before that snowball could come out of Nunu. And now they're going to be looking to try and find the rest of Millenium, who are coming around the side. They've actually managed to land the root there onto JWoww.
So much damage onto him just from a little bit of attacks from Tabs.
And this bottom turret looks like it's going to be the next target there. Not quite a grab coming out of Hideout. They're quite happy to regain that tower lead at 2-1. And it brings the goal back to a 1,500 difference between them now, Jason.
And Dragon should be up shortly, according to the timer on your guys' screens. And Olaf has that Kindle Gem, as you do get a pull onto him.
Oh, he actually is going to ulti out there. And that's always the danger of picking up on Olaf, because he's just going to say, oh, well, Ragnarok's on. You're not catching me. I am out of here. But Mousesports still with that gold lead now. And this Dragon, which has now spawned, is going to be pretty crucial. See if they actually end up spotting that Dragons. I'm not sure if Millenium have that timer down. Wait, Millenium took the last Dragon, right? And then got aced.
I think it was Mousesports.
No. Mouse.
Yeah, because we saw Olaf actually die to the Dragon.
Nah, yeah, that's true. That's really true. So, yeah, I'm not sure if they even had the timer down for this one. We can see there, Cho'Gath, he's going to nom it down for the finisher.
Oh, sorry, I actually thought he used his ultimate there. But yeah, does Millenium even have the damage or the team fight capability to win on a Dragon fight? I mean, they already got East once. They get East again, the game would be just over.
Well, I'm not sure that they do. I mean, Shen's full tankiness right now. Mundo, full tankiness. So you're lacking damage there right at the start. A blasting one on Zyra. We actually saw how much damage she's doing, but sustained it's definitely not. And then you've got to make sure that Vayne's in the fight and Protector does have that Phantom Dancer.
Your favorite back-end animation.
I really love that.
Even plays
the
music.
recall animation of Oktoberfest Gragas is possibly the best. It's just all about the music. It's so cool. But either way,
I mean, he's 5-0-3, has a death cap compared to Tabs. Like you're saying, a blasting one. Yeah, he has some good damage, but it's not that sustained. And I mean, that Gragas ultimate, if he can hit Vayne with it, it's going to just demolish her health pool. If he can land, you know, somewhat of a combo with his Q and his ultimate, Vayne should actually die pretty easy on, especially if Ezreal hits her with the ultimate on top of that.
Yeah, and that Olaf looking like he's going the same way again. I mean, look at his items, kind of spread out there, but still tanky, tanky, tanky. And that's all you really need when you're leveling that reckless swing. The true damage that comes off of it doesn't really matter that much how much damage you're building up into it, because it is already a very, very strong item to be going into anything with. We are seeing I'm So Fresh currently around, may actually end up getting caught here. He's going to face check straight in there. He's going to get ignited up, and look at that damage. There's the ultimate coming out of Momo to finish off the kill, and everything just coming in his direction, and that's Mundo. So how does anyone else plan to survive that?
I'm looking at health pools real quick. You know, it doesn't have the highest health pool, but still, like you just said, it's Mundo. I mean, he should not be dying to just one combo, especially without a DFG in the mix of it. But they do get that first tower with the 5-man push. They even might potentially be able to get this one. Gragas ultimate not up just yet. Obviously, we'll have a long cooldown early on, but once that gets that blue buff, should be up quickly. And they get that Nunis slow on a Cretan. That's going to be really powerful. If they can keep that Ice Blast onto him, his attack speed is going to be diminished. He's going to be forced to pop a cleanse to get out of it. And you just see the damage out of Momo. This is exactly what he did in EPS. I mean, he got such a huge kill advantage. I think it was 8-0 at the end of that game, and he could just one-shot like 2 or 3 people on the enemy team.
Yeah, he's very, very dangerous, that's for sure, Momo, as he picks up another blasting one, as you do.
Oh, top lane. English looks like he's going to get caught here. Doesn't have
the snowball to land. Ah, they did, but Olaf had already turned away from it. Had that blood boil on as well, so wasn't going to be getting away if they decided to really pursue that one, I think. Either way, a bit too of a quiet point once again. Tied on turrets, 3,400 gold lead currently with Millenium. And it looks like they're going to be trying once again to have a go at this blue buff. Let's see, Mousesports actually coming around the side from this one. There's the knock-up from Cho'Gath. Actually, they are going to go in there. Blue buff picked up in the end by Moma. Ulti barrel comes out. I'm so fresh, loses half of himself. Here comes Olaf. Where is your ultimate, Olaf? There is the ultimate. Ragnarok going to send him flying out. They're going to try and focus down tabs. Shen ulti comes in, flash away. But there is the grab. That is going to be a very, very dead Cho'Gath. But are they going to stop there? Doesn't look like it. Profana taking a lot of damage. Heidal has his mana barrier pop. JWoww is now all on his own. Gets rooted up in the end as well. Well, that is a 2-for-0 in favor of Millenium, but Heidal's not finished just yet. And well, he kind of suicided and then Gragas just turned around and yeah, face planting him.
I mean, with Gragas, that pull should act like an E out of him, that body slam. Because you're pulling him into your face. Obviously, you're going to be hurting quite a bit. But Moma now 7-0-3, 3-0-3 on Ezreal. What do you think of the kill spread? Obviously not ideal, but with the damage that Moma's doing, with how well we know he is a Gragas, does it matter?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Olaf got the kill in there. He's got Warden's Mail now finished up, along with a Kindle Gem, Heart of Gold, Giant's Belt. So he's moving in a few different directions as he goes, but at some point he's going to be full and be pretty damn strong. You see there an Oracle picked up as well for Cho'Gath. Aegis is in there as well. He's got those boots of mobility to really get involved across the map.
Shen top lane.
And yeah, this time I think he might just get caught out. Flashes away though from the rupture of Dedrian. And he's back in pretty much right under their nose there, which Mousesports don't seem to care about, or maybe we're just out of range to not see them. But the kills there on Ezreal as well, going for that Infinity Edge like I thought with that Blood Boil in there. Blue Boil. It's
a new buff, Season 3.
Berserker Greaves, Double Doran's Blade, and the Vamp Scepter as well. So a lot of damage coming out here for Mouse, and I'm not really sure that they can really tank through it. I mean, that's what they've got to do there with that Shen and with that Mundo in there, but really, I don't know if they can.
And Mousesports is showing great control right now. You've seen Angus try to push his top lane time and time again, and yet they keep shutting that down. They keep pushing him off and forcing him to, start grouping up his team to help out. He hasn't been able to do what a Shen does. And with that, Mousesports is keeping him underfarmed a little bit. Yeah, he has a Sunfire Cape, but I mean, Ezreal, who have that Last Whisper, decently soon. You have an Olaf doing true damage. You have the Nom from Cho'Gath doing true damage. In the end, that Sunfire Cape's not going to do too much, as they do try to get a pull here, getting that ward down, trying to catch someone off guard. And it looks like Millenium might be trying to engage it, but they're coming into a trap.
Yeah, but ultimate pop there out of Prothana. There is the grab actually missing. Are they going to get involved? There's the barrel coming in. There's the ulti. Oh, and he's knocked them right back in, but Zyra coming around the side. Ezreal ultimate comes in as well. Tab's trying to walk away. Moma goes down. That's Creaton picking up a kill as well. A double kill, actually, out of Vayne. Can they finish off Prothana here? Vayne has gone down over the other side, and they do manage to finish off Prothana, and Cho'Gath with full HP. But the tank of your team running away with full HP just shows how good the focusing was there from Millenium. They lost Vayne in the end. They kept alive Mundo and Shen with hardly any health. But there you saw Zyra. Again, the amount of damage that comes out of her is pretty insane for that.
And the control on top of that was a perfect ultimate to land on the 3 key members of Mousesports. And because of that, I mean, they won that fight. Yeah, they lost Cretan, but taking 3 for 1 any day is obviously ideal. And we do have a 7-2 Vayne, Joe. 7-2.
And that's what we were talking about, the damage earlier on. They're certainly starting to build it up now, aren't they, with that Vayne getting into a very strong point. BF Sword and a Vamp Scepter in there, so guessing going to go into that Bloodthirst and may just end up going straight into Infinity Edge, to be honest with you, as we are seeing Cho'Gath here soloing Dragon for now. He's going to have 3 of his teammates coming down to help him out with that one.
That will be the first one of the game for them, as Millenium currently sitting on 2. Actually, sorry, no. This is every Dragon for them.
Dragon, yeah.
Got confused there for a second, because so many M's in this game.
There's the Ezreal ultimate. Actually headed up in towards his top lane, free farm from a distance.
Did he really even kill any?
I think not all of them, that's for sure.
We do have the Reynolds done on Olaf, though. We have the Void Staff done on Gragas. I mean, there isn't a lot of magic resist built up on their team just yet, but obviously when they do go for it, it won't matter much anymore after that. And we have a Chain Vest coming out of Cho'Gath, so it looks like he's going to be built into a Frozen Heart. With their Reynolds on Olaf, they're able to really reduce attack speed off of Vayne, and that is what they have to do to shut her out of the game.
Oh,
that's not
face
good.
Check the Gragas. Mana barrier probably not going to do that much. Actually, Shenult is going to come in. They managed to pull Gragas back down. This is a nice move out of Millenium, but can they finish off the kill? Yes, they can. It's gone to Creatine, and now Nunu needs to be getting away. Gets knocked up. I'm So Fresh will pick that kill up. So just
Baron.
where Moma's thinking he's getting clever there, taking down the Blitzcrank, the rest of the team comes around, and they pick up 2 kills in quick succession. That's Vayne going up to 8-4, and the other kill was Mundo. Yeah.
That was
fresh.
That was such a misplay out of Moma right there. I mean, he used his ultimate with exhaust on him. If he waited just a little bit longer, would have killed Blitzcrank. Shen would have come in there in time, and he would have survived as well as Phylux. So, I mean, Millenium, they're getting back in the game by picking off anyone on Mousesports they can. We have Prothon on the top lane, still pushing the bot lane. We see Millenium trying to go for this tower, and with a Vayne there, they very well might take it here, and they get the ball in a Cho'Gath.
Oh, Dedrick going to be pulled out, but that's going to be the death of Cho'Gath. But here comes the ultimate out of Zyra. Ezreal ultimate coming back as well. That's a 1-for-1. But Prothana is here. Tabs does go down. Creatine trying to pick up those final kills, but look at the damage coming out. He is dead. It's a double kill for Prothana on Olaf, and that will bring him up to 4-4-6, and a nice little chunk of gold for him to go spend 1,600 currently that he's sat on. So that leaves us at 15-14 on the kills. Less than a 2,000 gold lead. This is still a real tight encounter.
Yeah, we do have Infinity's Edge though done for Vayne, and that is that's so crucial. I mean, even with the armor, she's going to hurt so bad with that Silver Bolts and with the crits. 9-3 Vayne. We'll see Mousesports go for this bottom turret, and they should be able to take it quite easily with that Blood Boil. And with Olaf missing health, obviously going to have a higher attack speed, and that will take them up to 3 turrets in the game, lengthening the goal lead just a little bit more. Okay, eventually they'll take it. We do have 1,900 gold sit on Olaf. English finally able to get that top turret after 25.5 minutes. He's been trying to go at that for the entire game. And Olaf, what are you going to build off of this giant spell? Are you going to go for Sunfire or probably a Warmogs?
Yeah, I guess I'll go Shurelya's first.
Yeah, that movement speed's going to be very nice for his team.
Or not.
Yeah, Warmogs.
Just go straight to Warmogs for the health. And also an Elixir picked up there. And we are now seeing Dedrin coming around the side here. Heidal not getting knocked up, which means that Dedrin didn't really realize, I think, that he was there. Heidal here going to take a lot of damage. The ultimate out of Momo wasn't perfect. Well, they've picked up the kill with 3 of them being there as well. And I wonder if now Mouse are thinking about this Baron. Their position certainly could suggest so. They've got 4 men on this top side, but well, it's probably a little bit too close for them to be justifying that kind of risk 26 minutes in. Yeah,
if they lose that Baron, if they lose, or if they get an ace against them, it's just pretty much throwing the game away. And, I mean, the game's been thrown multiple times by both teams, if I'm going to be honest. We do have an Oracle picked up on Phylux now, on a Nunu, just to clear that Baron of wards. But, I mean, Mousesports, yeah, you don't want to throw the game, but you have a Cho'Gath. And you should feel confident enough in yourself having a Cho'Gath and a Nunu on top of that with Consume to be able to take this Baron without it being stolen away.
I think it's just more about timing, to be honest. We are seeing Angosh split pushing, as the Shen does. But they've got a nice counter to that in terms of Olaf with teleport, albeit that it's currently down. But once that teleport comes up, he can quite happily fend Shen off all day and then get involved in the action when Shen does decide to move away as well. And, ooh, Axe actually landing here. And he's going to dash away from the next one. So Prothana not going to be able to chase him down from that one. Rest of the team of this top side as Tabs actually does get hit. He's going to get a good ultimate off here. And the damage coming out onto Momo. Look at that. Creatine ripping through them. 2 kills for nothing. And the grab onto Phylux at mass range. And that is a double kill for Mundo. Well, I was talking about Baron and a time to do it. This is the best time possible. 3 of them down.
The damage coming out of Cretan right there. You saw it just with that Infinity's Edge, with that Phantom going into a G now, and that should be a free Baron. We do have Olaf trying to come on the side, JWoww as well, but there shouldn't really be anything they can do to stop this.
No, I don't think so. No, they're not going to get it. Prothana's actually in there, focusing in on towards Tabs. One more reckless swing and he is dead, and there it is, finished off. And, well, died to Shen in the end. But look at this, the AD carries going at it. It's not even a competition. Vayne, 11-3-7, Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, got some armor in there as well. Probably going up towards that Guardian Angel now, which, that's it. That's like endgame for Vayne with that kind of build. I can't see Mousesports. I mean, we just saw how these fights went for them, and if they get caught out, then it's even more ridiculously bad of a position. This game has been so back and forth for either team having a lead. Mouse are now finally behind in gold and in turrets as well, 4-3 to Millenium, but it's not over yet. And don't forget, we could still have that whole horrible 1-2 or 2-1 tie somewhere along the group. So timings do matter. That's the rule at Intel Extreme Masters. It's all down to timing. So you want to win games fast, and you want to lose games slow.
I'm sorry, that's just really funny. Win games fast, lose them slow. But yeah, that's very true indeed. We had 2 tiebreakers actually happen
exactly.
at Intel Extreme Masters Singapore.
In Singapore were decided that way.
Yeah, and actually I could pinpoint like ELO Hell. They like threw the game, and because of that, because of how long it took, how quick it was, they ended up losing their spot. Anyways, we do have Blue Buck being taken by tabs. Items being built a little bit more. We have Olaf going into Spirit Visage just for some extra magic resist, extra armor. Not actually going for the Shurelya's that we thought he'd be going for, Joe, which is a little bit surprising. We do have JY now building into his Triforce, 2/3 of the way done. Doesn't have much gold on top of that though. And Vayne, GA is done, Joe.
Yeah, that kind of surprises me that it didn't go in towards Shurelya's, to be honest, because he needs to get on Vayne. Like, he needs to single Vayne out. Yes, he has Ghost, I suppose, but Ghost, Shurelya's with his ultimate on. You can't stop him. And he's going to run straight into the back to try and control his Vayne, which is, in my opinion, what Mousesports have to do. They have to get this Vayne out of the game. I mean, Creaton got 11 of the 19 kills on his back now. So he's big weight for Millenium to be handling. And they need to keep him alive. And if someone can target him and get in there and stick on him, it's probably Olaf.
And the weird thing is that he went for the Spirit Visage, which is, yeah, it gives you the magic resist, gives you extra lifesteal and the cooldown reduction, but you're not going to die to tabs when you have 4,000 life.
I was going to say, they don't really need magic resist right now.
You need 4,100 life. 4,100. He's not going to die to tabs. He doesn't even have a DFG right now. Has the Void Staff, so there's no reason to pick that up. And the Shrill, just like I was saying, I mean, it's going to be good for them to disengage as well, because Millenium is starting to win these team fights really easily. We've seen a lot of good pulls on Haydel, and that is what's causing Mouse so many problems. Moma's kind of fallen off a little bit. We've been seeing him doing as much damage as we saw earlier on. Obviously, he does fall off a little bit. Went for an Abyssal Scepter, but if they can't dodge these pulls, if Prothana, like you're saying, can't stick to Vayne, there's no way they can win this these team fights.
Well, we see them pushing up there. They can clear these waves out quickly with that barrel out of Gragas. How about they do decide to back away? What's the Dragon timer? 35.50, so good amount of time still to wait for that one. Actually, Baron is going to be up before that. And now Millenium pushing in towards this bottom inhibitor turret.
Well, we do have Frozen Heart done on Shogun. That's going to be a very key item to shut down Vayne. Oh, just missing over that wall. We do have Cretan actually taking a reckless swing out of Olaf, but I mean, it's not really that much damage as she can't heal it up with that Vamp Scepter with the crits. As you're right there, I mean, 700, 600 crits at the moment. Healing up back perfectly. And if someone on Mousesports gets pulled, I mean, it's going to be an inhibitor, potentially 2, potentially even game right now. You obviously don't want to lose this one. You want to win it, to stay alive in this tournament. And I don't know, I don't think Mouse has not has what it takes, but just has the ability with how fed Vayne is.
Oh, Cretan actually just took a big chunk of damage there. Needs his next minion wave basically to herself to be healing that one up. Which is what I kind of don't understand in this situation, why they're destroying them straight away and not just letting Cretan have that lifesteal back of it, so he's full HP should they either get engaged on or engage themselves. Shen has pushed his top lane out though. That's going to force Olaf away. He does have that teleport, so we'll see if that gets called into use here. As the ultimate does go down there, and we are going to see Dedrin going very, very low. There's the ulti coming out of Gragas as well. Shen coming into this one, but look, they've hardly lost any health. There is Shay going in. Moma's going to be in trouble. Ulti comes out of Zyra. Nuno ulti didn't really do anything. Prothana now going to be in trouble, as well as the kills raining in left, right, and center for Millenium. Can they finish off Dedrin? Yes, they can. It's Creaton there that does that one, and he could probably just stand at the fountain now and just pin them into it so that they can't get out for the rest of the game until they all respawn. But this is going to be the first inhibitor going down. They may just decide to tank up that turret in the middle to get themselves a second inhibitor, or they might even go for a Nexus turret, to be honest. They've got the minions there with them. They've certainly got the damage coming out of Creaton to finish off these turrets quickly. There's the first Nexus turret down. Can Mousesports get into it quick enough? Tab's going fairly low. Pull comes down onto Olaf. He's knocked up. He's going to get nuked away, but you can see Creaton focusing in on towards the Nexus. Prothana does get away, but it won't matter. Millenium going to take down Mousesports here in a 33-minute game. Back and forth it certainly was, but Millenium, the ones keeping their hopes alive here in Group A of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne.
Yeah, I have to say that was probably the most entertaining match we've seen all day today, as it was probably the closest. But yeah, the throws, I mean, there were the throws and catches left and right. I mean, you really couldn't predict who would win it unless you stuck with the Vayne the entire time. But I mean, Mousesports would be up at one point with Moma doing so much damage. He was 8-0 at one point, and then they fell behind because they kept getting picked off one by one, and then Cretan I mean, it was his game to lose. He has the 13-3-7 score. If you know what that means, everyone obviously does. If you are a gamer, but they were just able to get him fed. He was able to position himself correctly, and because of that, they took the victory.
Yeah, really fantastic play out of Millenium, and you know they just waited for that bait. I mean, they got aced earlier on in the game.
Yeah, at Dragon, like 9
minutes into the game, they got aced there, and they just held on. Creatine then got fed up to elite 1-3-3-7.
He was already fed
nice
too.
score to have. Yeah, he was.
4-1.
His creep score in the end was not that much huger, but the thing is he stayed neck and neck in the early game with that CS as well. Then he started to rack up the kills, and as we all know, once Vayne gets going, bit of a steamroller that you don't stop very easily.
Yeah, and Hado was probably a key factor. Actually, I don't want to analyze it too much, but I'd have to say he was probably a key factor in Millenium winning that game because he had some amazing pulls that set up for Condemns, and they ended up clawing their way back into the game. We do see Millenium right here, as they are, and now you see us, as they are very happy to win that game. And I would be too. Keeps your hopes alive.
Yeah, a bit of a sigh of relief from Millenium after that one. I mean, it was very back and forth. Not a game that was easy to win, but they're the games that you have to win if you want to stay in the group stages. But anyway, that's enough analysis from outside. We're going to throw it over to the Cool Kids desk to see which pose they've got for us this time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Joe and Jason. And what an pretty active game, that one. Very much back and forth, very close in the gold. And really, it was a case of who wanted to throw the match the hardest, I think, we decided on, because there were so many times.
Competition of throwing.
A competition of throws. There was a lot of action. We made a lot of notes throughout that match. So let's just delve straight into the replays, because we've got a lot of them. So first off, this is about 9 minutes. This was the first Dragon fight.
Yeah, the main problem was Mousesports was doing Drake, and Millenium tried to contest it when Tabs was completely out of mana. Tabs didn't even cast the ultimate. I mean, he died without the Syra ultimate, so of course they're gonna die, and they get like so stomped on that team fight, getting an ace for Mousesports and only 1 kill for Millenium. And a Drake, of course, for Mousesports. It was like approximate like 3k gold for Mousesports.
And then we moved on to 1930, I think it was. By this stage, Moma had gone around. He'd got himself a dragon, of course. They'd got himself a bunch of kills. But if we move in there, this is kind of like nobody really wanted to fight this one.
It was really I don't want to say that, but really discoordinated, right? It was like, first Mouse tried to go, then Millenium, Mouse went back and Millenium grabbed someone. Then they tried to go again, then go back, again, back, and it was so messy. And it ended with 2 kills for Millenium and 1 kill only for Mousesports.
And that was kind of the start of the comeback we fought. And then we moved on to 2140, which is when they really next engaged. And that was kind of Millenium kicking into gear.
Yep. It was, again, a bit discoordinated. Like, they were trying to go, and then moment we see Mousesports were running away, Arthana was running, Sen failed a ton, because it was already in the ultimate. And then this ultimate of Syra get 2 of them, 3 of them damage, but it was kind of messy team fight. Still was really success for Millenium, because they get, I think it get 4 guys and only died 1 guy, if I'm not wrong. It's a 4-1, exactly.
Yeah.
It was a complete comeback by Millenium.
Complete comeback, and then we moved to, I think it was 27-10, was pretty much the nail in the coffin. It was just before the Baron fight happened, and kind of they just simply got caught out.
I think this was the Blitzcrank grab, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, he went aggressive, and it just completely backfires on them.
It was Bane destroying Dragas, Bane destroying Cho'Gath, and Blitzcrank getting Nunu and the Oracle. And then, of course, get a Nasa from this.
Yeah, I mean, they just go on to get Baron, and they're pretty much just saying thanks very much.
It was funny, because they get that 3 kills, but they still behind on gold. They were like 1k behind. So it's something strange, I will say.
Definitely very strange. So, very much a back and forth action. Neither team really wanting to effectively take grasp of a full victory there, but it was Millenium that got it, and it's going to be Millenium versus SK Telecom next. What are we thinking here? Because this is basically the battle to get through. Fnatic now are pretty much home free. They've got Mousesports next. We're expecting a pretty clear victory there now, because Mousesports is 0-2. Fnatic looking incredible this tournament. They're all looking pretty much on top form. What are we expecting here?
I think this is the first time that Ara and I really disagree. I think you still think that Millenium have a good chance here. And I don't know. I think this one is going to go to SK Telecom.
I mean, if I will put my bets, I will say to SK Telecom. But still, I like the team Millenium. I like that guys, and I think they could do better job than this game. They could even
and
do
they are heroes, obviously, in that team Millenium. There's Anguish, of course. If he ever gets his jacks, it's gonna be trouble. Maybe Tubbs will pull out Fizz for that last game.
I swear,
so good.
Well, and that will also count on how much that SK Telecom have really looked at Eclipsia. Millenium, so I should say now that you formerly Eclipsia. And really vice versa. They've kind of had a good look at what they kind of know Reaper. They know what he plays. I guess they've had to probably look at the other guys, but they're, you know, vice versa. Neither team really know each other that well because they're both within a week, 2 weeks old.
Yep.
So I would love to watch in next game Kale and Fizz.
Kale and Fizz.
That's your.
I'm so fresh, Tabs. Kale.
Do it. Kale and Fizz. Maybe that's what we'll get. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have an interview, so let's get over to Zoe.
Thank you very much, guys. I now have one guy of the winning team, I'm So Fresh, joining me. And of course, once more, but, I love you. I never get tired of doing that, I'm sorry.
You really love doing that to me.
Hey, come on, you chose that nickname. It's not really my fault, is it? So let's talk a little bit about the game. That has been one of the most back and forth games we've seen today, at least. And I gotta say, in the beginning, it didn't look that good for you guys at first. I mean, Mouse scored the ace at around 9:30 or something. And then you had like several team fights where you were able to pick up good kills. I mean, we had like the one where you went out 2-0 against them, so that was pretty good. But what looked to me like one of the turning points was that Blitzcrank moment over at the blue buff. Was that an actual intended bait you guys did there, or was that some sort of accident going on?
So it's both, because Idol wanted to bait it, and Anguish ulted way too late, but in the end we still got them. So I think we can call this a bait.
Sounds fair. That sounds good.
Well, going to the picks and bans, can you walk us through that? What was your guys' mindset trying to take out of Mousesports' hands?
Not really. We don't know what they play, so we just ban what we didn't want to play against.
And then Haydel, I mean, I was saying during the cast that he had some amazing pulls that probably turned the game around in your guys' favor. Like Zoe was saying, it was very back and forth. How do you guys stay in it mentally? I mean, you guys got ace, like you're saying, at 9:30 around Dragon, but yet you came back anyways. I mean, most of it Cretan with his like 1-3-3-7 score.
Well, the problem is mainly the communication. Like, honestly, we did 3 games together, and I don't know, like we try to trust each other, but sometimes someone sees an opportunity and the rest doesn't always want to follow. So sometimes we are doing great because we trust each other, and sometimes there's a split between decisions. So it's the throw, and that's how we always throw it and then come back, and we did that many times on the game.
And how long have you guys actually been playing together? Because it's newly formed, and I know a lot of people out there are curious, was this something that was planned a while ago, or it kind of just came to fruition?
It's really hard to explain.
Give it a go.
I mean, we just had
That's all right, we can go to another question, because you have another hard match coming up.
It's really long.
All right, then we can go to the next question. You guys are playing against SK Telecom next, and we were talking a little bit before. You've had time to watch every single match. How did you guys prepare through that?
Well, we've been able, like, we couldn't tell everything they play, but we pretty much know what to expect and how strong they are. I mean, we could evaluate their level, and well, that's pretty nice because both games they played, both games we watched them, we didn't play. We'll see.
We will indeed. So good luck, of course, for that game. We all hope that's going to go as well as that one just went. We're going to throw it over to a quick commercial, and afterwards we will be back once more with Nazroth. And this time we have a special guest. It's going to be Redbeard Dustin Beck, who we had here on the couch right before all the matches started. He's the vice president of esports from Riot Games. So definitely make sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.